So whether you're a digger or a scooper, today we're going to help you play better wedge shots. Also, I'm going to explain to you the importance of gapping your wedges correctly in the garden. You better keep watching. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you are staying nice and safe, staying healthy. Personally, here in the UK, I feel like we are on the back nine now, and it hopefully won't be too long before we're back out on those golf courses. I think the golfing landscape will be very different. There'll be 2 balls at 10-minute intervals. Clubhouses might still be closed for a while, but hopefully we'll be able to get on those nice open spaces before too long. In the meantime, I'm still here in the garden. We've got the paddling pool out. There's Harry doing a little bit of space hopping, and he's probably going to help me explain a bit about bounce as well in a second, and that kind of leads us on to what we're looking at with our wedges today. So first of all, once again, thank you, by the way, if you are a subscriber. I really appreciate that. Give us a little thumbs up and make any comments below. If you're not a subscriber yet, I would really love it if you joined my community and became a subscriber and hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you follow me on all my social media. It's Dan Webster Golf. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and now even TikTok. But once again, thank you for being part of this channel. So like I mentioned, are you a digger or are you a scooper? And that means when you're playing your wedge shots, are you flicking the ball up, hitting it fat and popping it up in the air and the ball goes nowhere? Or even you're hitting it down into the ball, it's launching very low and uncontrollable spin? Well, I'm going to explain a little bit about why that might be happening, and also give you a good drill to help you shallow out that arc and get a more consistent strike. So first things first, I mentioned that we also need to understand a bit about loss. My wedges are 50, 54 and 58. Now here I've got my 54-degree wedge, and for me that's a 100-yard pitch. My 58 is around the 90-yard and my 50 is around the 110-yard, and that's with a full swing. And when I talk about a full swing, I'm thinking sort of here, shoulders sort of almost fully rotated, and I'd say probably about 90% of a backswing, and I wouldn't ever go more than that when I'm hitting a wedge. And as I described, when someone's flipping, if you're flipping at the ball, the hands release a little bit too soon, the arc bottoms out a bit too soon, you could thin it or fat it, the ball pops up into the air. I'll demonstrate that shot now. Got to be careful because this could go down the road. And that was a bit of a flick up into the air. Still very conscious that I don't want to hit this down into next door neighbour's garden. And all I did through impact, then I released my hands, allowed that loft to increase, and sure enough it would have popped the ball nice and highly in the air. Now the opposite to that would be someone who would dig, and that means you're getting a bit too steep on the ball, hitting down on it. That's going to really take loft off and make the swing uncontrollable, and this would be that dig swing. There's definitely no worry of this popping up, and as I hit down on the ball, you can see everything's very much past the ball, hands are leading, and again you could hit this on some soft ground, you'd hit this very heavy, very fat, the divot would probably fly further than the golf ball. So this is the digger. Definitely not great for the elbows, certainly if you're hitting off mats in the garden at the moment. So we want something in between the two. What I will do though, first of all, I'll get the GC quad on, we'll get some information about that scoop flight and that dig flight. We'll hit a few shots on there and show you the differences in launch and spin. Okay, so we're going to hit a few scoops first of all. I've got to be careful because of those houses behind us here. So this is my 54-degree club, and my hands are going to release that club, pop that blade underneath the ball. I'm expecting this to pop up quite high, quite quickly, and I'd expect this club to get around about 100 yards carry. I'm expecting with that shot that it won't do. Again, really flicking my hands underneath that and scooping the ball, pitching right into the top of the net. Any higher and that will be in someone's garden. Yeah, that's right up in the top of the goals there. Okay, let's have a little look at what the dig causes to the ball. So once again, using the same club, this time I'm going to put my weight on my left side. This is a fault that most people, if you are digging, you are finding you're struggling to get any control on the ball. The descent angle is very low and the ball's running through the greens. You might have a little bit too much weight on that left side. So this is the dig swing, down and chopping right into the ball. There's no fear of this launching over that net, that's for sure. This is launching about a third of the way up. Would notice probably quite a good bit of spin because we're trapping it nicely, but not a lot of control. Once again, low on the net there. Nice and accurate, but again, I'd be struggling to get much control on that. That descent angle is very low. Playing on a windy day, you might want that. So again, if you are popping that ball up a little bit too high, possibly put a bit more weight on your left side to keep that ball down. And as good as that strike feels, that ball's travelling quite well. It might just give me some inconsistent distances, I'm not too sure. With both of those swings, we know there's a few problems, a few faults. So the digging swing, I was too much weight on my left side, chopping down on it, could get past the ball, could even block a few, hit heavy divots before the ball. With the flipping swing, I could catch it fat, that hand release, that right hand scoop, and the blade underneath the ball is popping up too high, struggling with launch control, specifically on days like today where there is a bit of a breeze around. So I'm going to go through a couple of little simple tips with you to help keep the hands out of the shot, but also to keep the lower half moving nicely and change and give you a bit more of a consistent pitching action. So first of all, you would need something like an alignment stick, or at home in the garden, you've been doing some gardening, get a garden cane and just pop that down the shaft. Feels as though it's running down parallel with the shaft. Nice and easy, this one. Whilst you're swinging, if you were going to do the flip swing and the scoop swing, if you were to release your hands now, that cane would dig right into your ribs here, right into your side. So by having this here, it's just going to help you keep your hands away from your body. The digger, when you notice this come right away from your body, the cane pointing down the ground, and also be staying down the ground a bit too long. Be well away from your body in that follow through, causing that steep angle of attack. So this is just a nice simple drill to help you get some awareness. That, like I said, there's the shaft, the cane down the line of the shaft. And as I'm swinging this time, I'm going to keep my body turning. So this is a nice little weight transfer onto the left side. My hands are staying passive, which is preventing that scoop, preventing that inconsistent strike position, but then also making sure that that shaft doesn't get too far away from my body, keeping it nice and tight and close to my left hip, which allows that swing to stay nice and shallow as well. So let's put that to the test in this shot. Now, I'm not expecting to worry about this popping up over the net for sure. Also, the lack of control when the ball lands should be a bit easier because it shouldn't squeeze as much. So same feeling, make sure you get a feel for the move. First of all, good body rotation. Okay, that felt nice. That one certainly popped up a little bit high, just felt like I popped the blade open a little. Let's have a closer look at some of these numbers and just see the difference in ball flight characteristics depending on one of the three angles of attack and three different kinds of swings. Okay, straight away looking at these numbers, scooper, digger and my normal wedge. So we'll look at ball speed, 71.3 with the scooper, 76.7 with the digger, which is coming off pretty hot, and 75.9. So in between the two, a bit more towards the digger with their normal wedge. Launch angle, this is quite important, 33.6 on average with the scooper, so it's popping up a bit higher, 25.6 on average with the digger, so very steep, very low, and 32.4, somewhere in between, a little bit more towards the high of the scooper, so it's got a good bit of power, but it's popping up as well, not too uncontrollable, giving me averaging 7,000 spin. That last one that popped a bit high on the blade, 5.1 spin, but averaging 7,000 spin. It's less spin than both of those, less spin than the scooper and less spin than the digger, but certainly more controllable ball flight, better descent angle. 49.8 with the scooper, so that's coming in quite high. 43.2, it's coming in a lot flatter, and then 49.4, a little bit less descent angle than the scooper with that normal swing. Carry distances, this is where it gets quite interesting. So 80 yards carry with that scoop movement, so it's popping up high and a lot of spin, so it just wasn't getting anywhere. On a windy day like today, you will struggle to get the ball towards the pin. The digger, carry distance 91 but running out to 98. It had too flat a descent angle, the ball is hard to control. However, on a links golf course, you might want that. And then the final one, 90 carry, 95 total. The in between the two was my shallower movement, that more passive hand swing. So as you can hopefully see from that, ideally the middle one, which was my movement, keeping the hands away from my body, keeping the left hip rotating, keep my body working nicely. It's going to give us a more consistent ball flight, less chance of it popping up into that breeze, and certainly a bit more chance of it stopping when it does land on the green due to that descent angle. If you have got any difficulties with your game currently and you do want a little bit of remote help, remote coaching help, I do have a coach now. Please DM me, message me below, and I'll add you to that community for a free month trial on that as well, worth £50 a month. So please get involved with that as a little thank you from me, and also an opportunity for me to help you out. Back to closer to home now here at St Ansell Links. We are hopefully getting closer to opening. Like I've said, members, there will probably be a very different landscape. We're hoping to see some of you play golf towards the end of May. Don't hold me to that, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed as potentially restrictions do start to lift, but it will be very different. I wouldn't expect you to be there in groups. It's probably going to be 2 balls, but we're going to have more information on that over the next few weeks. Massive thank you to Greg last week going live with me on Facebook as we explained a few things about what's been happening on the golf course, and I've got to say that course looked absolutely magnificent. We've still got our raffle, our NHS raffle, and there's one of our star prizes, the limited edition tailor-made bag, up for grabs. So again, get in touch with me regarding that. It's £5 a ticket, five tickets for £20, and half of the money goes to a fantastic worthy cause, the NHS. As I've mentioned a couple of times, thanks again for subscribing to this channel. If you don't already, please do. Lots of content coming over the next few weeks as we get ready and ramp up towards hopefully what we think will be the start of the golf season. I'm still back in the back garden though for now, and by all means, please stay safe, look after yourselves, and we'll see you all very soon. Thank you.